Hello, and welcome to another episode of USA Havana's Portrait Podcaster. They let it happen, the communist takeover of U.S. policy. This explosive exposé reveals the untold story of how deep communist infiltration reshaped America's government, media, and foreign policy, culminating in the betrayal of Cuba, the rise of Fidel Castro, and a hidden war on Western values. Was America ever really free from Soviet control? Or were we infiltrated from within, while our leaders looked the other way? Based on Diana West's explosive book American Betrayal, this video uncovers one of the most suppressed chapters in U.S. history, the deliberate infiltration of our government by communist agents, not in secret, but in plain sight. From the halls of the White House to the State Department, Soviet operatives like Alger Hiss and Harry Dexter White shaped American policy to serve Stalin's goals. The result? Eastern Europe fell to communism, China was betrayed, and patriotic truth-tellers were destroyed. Why was the evidence ignored? Who helped cover it up? And why does this betrayal still matter today? This is not conspiracy. It is a documented, buried truth, now exposed. What if I told you that America's greatest threat during the Cold War wasn't the Soviet Union across the ocean, but the agents of that empire already inside our government? In American Betrayal, journalist Diana West reveals a chilling truth, one too dangerous, too inconvenient, and too buried for decades. The United States was not merely targeted by communism. It was penetrated, corrupted, and, in many cases, controlled by it. This isn't conspiracy theory. It's history, documented, footnoted, and ignored. From the 1930s through the height of World War II and deep into the Cold War, Soviet agents and sympathizers infiltrated every branch of our federal government, the State Department, the Treasury, even the White House itself. They weren't just spies stealing secrets. They were policymakers shaping U.S. decisions in ways that served Stalin, not Roosevelt, Moscow, not Washington. Names like Alger Hiss, Harry Dexter White, and Lachlan Curry, all exposed later as Soviet assets, were not on the margins. They were inside the room. They influenced wartime strategy. They redirected aid. They protected Soviet interests. And they helped deliver Eastern Europe into the iron grip of the Kremlin at Yalta. West argues that these betrayals weren't just accidents of espionage. They were part of a sustained ideological cover-up, enabled by an American elite too enamored with the idea of Soviet progress and too afraid to admit the scale of the infiltration. When Senator McCarthy began to uncover the truth, he was destroyed. Not because he was wrong, but because he was too right. West shows how historians, journalists, and even our own intelligence agencies helped bury the evidence, mock the witnesses, and rewrite the record. The result? A nation that still doesn't understand how deeply it was compromised. This book is not just about the past. It is about the present danger of forgetting. What happens when a nation cannot admit its own betrayal? What happens when the truth is treated as treason? In American Betrayal, the verdict is clear. The greatest damage was not done by foreign enemies, but by Americans who served them. Watch now to discover what your history books refuse to tell you. Based on the research of Diana West, American Betrayal, and declassified intelligence records, this video uncovers Soviet agents embedded in the U.S. State Department, Treasury, and White House. How American elites protected communist dictators like Stalin and Castro. The betrayal of anti-communist allies in Cuba, Eastern Europe, and beyond. The connection between U.S. silence and the fall of democratic movements. Why the truth was buried, and who is still protecting the lie. Narrated in cinematic style, this documentary is part of the USA Havana Truth Project, restoring erased history and honoring those who fought for liberty. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos on Cold War secrets, U.S. Cuba relations, and the global struggle between freedom and tyranny.